What's up, y'all? Good to see y'all again, man. We bike. Hope y'all been having a great week, man. We almost at the weekend. Me and the wifey flying out tonight. Well, depending on when I'm dropping this, we're flying out to Cali to LA to Santa Monica for the weekend. Nephew's graduation, high school graduation, so that should be good. So yeah, man. Hope everybody else been having a good week too, man. I wanted to talk a little bit about how I got to Bitcoin. A little bit about that. So, Bitcoin was actually the first thing that I bought, funny enough, back in 2018. I mean, I didn't have an idea what it was, and Cash App just offered it. So, just like me and my boys, we was just chilling, just like, hey, man, let's just buy it. Just put $10, $20 on it. And we just bought it and then just kept it there. So, I mean, there's been some times where I think I got rid of some, I bought some, gave it to my friends, sold it back for cash or fiat cash, whatever. But yeah, man, funny enough, that was the first thing that I bought. Bitcoin was the first thing. I didn't start off with you know, with the altcoins and then worked my way. I actually got into it just not knowing what it was. And then what I end up doing eventually as I start getting a little bit more into crypto and just learning more about Ethereum. Every time you hear Bitcoin, you hear Ethereum too. They're like, yeah, that Ethereum too. I'd be like, okay, Ethereum, okay, Ethereum, okay. And somebody else is saying Ethereum, okay, Ethereum, okay, yeah. So make sure we do Bitcoin and Ethereum because they both they're at the top of the top. Going back now, please. But yeah, shoot. I mean, I took mad L's in crypto, bro. Mad L's, man. I mean, I was in like Safe Moon. I was in Voyager. I had Digibyte in Voyager. And I remember like it was yesterday. I was out in London when the Voyager thing happened. I was in London at the time and I was on the Voyager app and I'm just like, how come I'm scrolling? I'm like, how come ain't none of this money moving in here? Like, I'm the app ain't froze, is it? Scroll again. Okay. Withdraw. Cash out. Um, Give me some money. Um, Anything that involves me getting my money was not available on the app. Wasn't available. And they ain't had no explanation out of it now. And I'm overseas. I'm losing my mind. So eventually it comes out with what happened, I forgot the name of the hedge fund or whoever they was working with in the background, and then they was taking risks with everybody assets, and it was 3LW, 3W something. So, that was a rough. Let me see, how long did that take? Man, I think people still trying to get their money back today. This was back in what, 2022 or something when this happened. You hear a lot about the FTX thing, but a lot of people don't be talking about that Voyager, man. That Voyager, there was a lot of people in that Voyager situation too. Shoot, I be here thinking like, yeah, FTX. I'm like, oh, that's how you be feeling when it happened to you. When it happened to you, you be like, hold on, man, we need some of that love too. But yeah, man, it caught up in the Voyager thing, had all type of stuff in there, all type of BS and Bitcoin. Took that L there, you know what I mean? So not only did not only did the app stop letting you withdraw, you also lost your Bitcoin. They cashed you out. And then I think they gave like 70% or something like that, or supposed to be, or I don't know. You know, got a little something back, but I think I need a little bit more out of them. Holla at me, y'all. But yeah, the Voyager thing, L's there, L's all over the place. Safe Moon L's, um, you know, building up the Bitcoin stack and then just selling a good little piece of it, right before discovering what it was. Rajat Sony's video, I think it's called Why Bitcoin. That's what got me. And I had sold probably a month or two before that video hit my algorithm. And I was sick when I sold it. So now that shifted me into Michael Saylor mode. You know what I mean? Just buy it at all costs now. So the road wasn't smooth. Getting to Bitcoin, it wasn't smooth at all, man. Mad L's, bro. That Voyager thing, that still comes. That haunts me still at night. Yeah, man, that mess was crazy, man. But now, again, we're at Bitcoin only now. We're not doing any altcoins. We've been through those phases, been through those ups and downs. From now on, Bitcoin. Once you learn about what Bitcoin is and what it does, and then once you learn about what the problem is, and it's easy, the problem is inflation. They're printing money out of thin air. That's the problem. Bitcoin can't be recreated. After 21 million is done. It's finalized, finished, over, finito. That supply is going to be stuck. We only at 1% now, but what's going to happen with the demand eventually? What is my hand doing? What does my hand represent? The price. If the supply is stuck, supply don't move no matter how bad you want it. There's no businesses, nobody that's gonna accommodate to your demand. So you're gonna have to spend a little bit more, player. You got to spend more. You got to pay to play. So you got to get in now, because as more people keep catching on, I wish I would have known better way back then. But hey, man, we all got to go through this. We all got to go through it. So I'm gonna get deeper into that in another video. We'll talk a little bit more about it. But I just want to talk about how this wasn't no smooth journey at all. The average person probably would have just gave up on crypto altogether. And by the way, Bitcoin is not crypto. Bitcoin is sound money. Crypto and Bitcoin are two different things. But I'm just saying, all together. Just got out of it if I didn't know any better. I do now, and I feel better about Bitcoin than ever. More better being in Bitcoin than being in fiat for sure. But to be honest, I'm gonna go off in a tangent. I just want to talk about my quick journey to Bitcoin, how we got here, what type of L's I took, what type of altcoins I was in, and all the BS that came on behind that. But just don't let that deter you, man. And find some time to read up on other people's stories and how they got into it. Nobody had a smooth ride in this. Nobody. So just take your time with it. Learn as you grow. Learn as your digital change jar grows, and just keep stacking. And don't send your Bitcoin to anybody under any circumstances, unless you know and trust that, you know what I'm saying, that individual. And then you'll be fine. We'll talk about self-custody later, but make sure you get into, get on Cash App, Strike. You got Fold out there. If you got Bitcoin ATMs in your city, go hit them up. Go create a wallet. You can just endless ways you can do it, man. So, yeah, man. But I hope that video reaches out to somebody. And I hope it doesn't deter you either, because again, it's all in a journey, and I personally feel like it's all worth it at the end of the day. All roads lead to Bitcoin. Trust me. Peace.